It's a boring ass Saturday night. Watching NBA 3-point contest, watching some old fights. But I came across an new interview that Fight Hype did with Bob Arum. It's about 40 seconds or so long, where he's saying that Vasyl Lomachenko, 5-1 with 3 KOs, WBO champion of the world at 126 pounds, is going to be taking on former WBA Super World Champion at 126 pounds, Nicholas Axeman Walters. The question I have is, oh, by the way, what Bob Arum said is the fight is done as far as the paperwork. They're just waiting for a date and waiting for a network, HBO, to pick up the fight. So we can expect the fight to be happening sometime before the summer. I'm going to say late spring, maybe in April or May. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. The question I have is this. Nicholas Walters is stuck in like a limbo right now. His last fight was at 130 pounds in a controversial fight, where basically, yeah, they robbed him. You know, it should have been they pretty much robbed him. I don't know how they saw that fight a draw, where he fought at 130 pounds. The last fight before that was when he fought when he lost his belt on the scales, because he said that after the Nonito Donaire fight, he celebrated too much, went down to Jamaica, you know, had too many oxtails and the curry goat and rice and beans, and he didn't make weight. So that's 2 straight fights now over the 126 pound division. And this is a guy who comes in under, if not 150 pounds. So he rehydrates 20, or so pounds when he comes into the ring. So the question I'm having is, because this is one of the only big money fights they can make without the politics of boxing getting involved, is he draining himself to get down to that 126 pound division, which it looks like to me. In my opinion, Nicholas Walters should be fighting at 130 pounds. But we've been talking about this Nicholas Walters versus Vasyl Lomachenko fight for quite some time. And in my opinion, I got Vasyl Lomachenko winning, unless we saw that the weight played an issue with Vasyl Lomachenko and Orlando Salido. We saw that pressure that Orlando Salido was providing gave Lomachenko some trouble. But since then, as I said, that Lomachenko versus Salido fight was like 10 fights of experience for Vasyl Lomachenko, because he had so much working against him when it came to a guy who was a veteran, when it came to a guy who had the weight advantage, etc., etc. So I'm wondering if Nicholas Walters would be able to exploit that. But Vasyl Lomachenko was so good. And, we have to admit that this is going to be Vasyl Lomachenko's toughest fight. Gary Russell, he just didn't have the power, and Gary Russell, in my opinion, the skill just wasn't there. Vasyl Lomachenko showed us that he was levels above him, during that fight. It just, even when Gary Russell was throwing those combinations, Vasyl Lomachenko was long gone. So I'm wondering, what chance does Nicholas Walters have? And it has to be the pressure and the power. But I'm wondering, what's he got to go through to make that 126 pound limit? But anyway, I'm guessing we're going to be hearing some more on this very soon, as HBO soon has to announce their spring lineup for fights. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.